Hey guys, I thought I'd take the chance to do a Q&A podcast by myself. I've never done one before, but I thought it'd be a good way for you guys to get to know who I am as a person. And I got a pretty good response when I reached out on Instagram. I asked you guys to send in your best questions, and I've picked the 10 best questions that I thought would be good for my podcast. So the first question that I got was, what's the hardest but most rewarding part of being a father? Well, for me, the hardest part of being a father would probably be leaving to work in the morning, um, having to leave my daughter at home and go to work for the day. But yeah, the most rewarding part would be coming home to see her after a hard day's work. It's really hard to leave in the morning, especially when she's waving in the front window. But yeah, coming home from work after a hard day is really, really rewarding part of my day. And it's an exciting part of my day when I'm on my way home and I know that I'm gonna get to see her. So yeah, that's probably the hardest part for me. Um if I could talk to the old me, what would I say? I'd probably say start working on yourself now, and those thoughts that you're having in your head about who you want to be are valid and you should listen to them. I spent a long time feeling stuck and feeling like I was going nowhere in my life. And I just think that people sort of get this feeling of being trapped because they don't set goals for themselves. They're not trying to better themselves or take your body or your mindset or whatever it is to that next level. Where for me, I spent a long time just going through the motions and not really trying to achieve anything other than go to work, go out on the weekend, drink, hang out with my friends on the weekend or my wife. Yeah. So, yeah, if I could talk to the old me, I would say start pushing yourself now. I feel like the earlier you start anything, it's going to be beneficial for you. And it can be hard to start something to begin with. Um, but yeah, just have a go. If you have a thought that comes into your head that you'd like to try something or you'd like to do another job, try another sport, whatever it is, you can do it. You can go for it. Like sometimes you might fail, but if you don't try, then you'll never know. So yeah, that's what I would say to my old self is start now. Don't wait. And where do I see myself in 10 years? Oh, hopefully I'll be successful at podcasting. It's very new to me. It's very fresh. It still feels a little bit awkward, as you might be able to hear right now. It doesn't feel natural looking into the camera and talking. I'll tell you what, talking to someone is so much easier than looking into the camera and trying to talk to the camera as if there's someone there listening to you. Um, but yeah, I really hope that within 10 years that my podcast is successful. And I hope that in 10 years' time, I have more financial freedom and more time with my family, and I'm doing more of the things that I love doing. Um, yeah, 10 years is a long way away though, so it's a little bit hard to think of where exactly I want to be in the 10 years time. Um, I try as much as I can to focus on what I'm trying to achieve now when I have so many goals set in place. I try not too hard to think into the future because I feel that's when you're more likely to get lost. You're going to get more lost in your thoughts. I feel like if you set your goals and you start working towards them, well, I feel like you should be focusing on working towards rather than just focusing on the finish line. Because if you're just focused on the finish line, the in between is going to be a lot harder. If you're not enjoying the in between and the part of the progress and working on yourself and all the little nitty gritty things, then I feel like you're going the wrong way about it. Nothing is going to happen like that overnight, and not everyone is going to be successful overnight. So yeah, you need to enjoy the process. How's my journey been on the animal based diet? Well, so I started on the animal based diet. I seen it first on Paul Saladino's Instagram page. I've spent a long time in my life being fat and overweight, feeling unhappy with myself and the way that I look. I've tried everything. I've tried Weight Watchers. I've tried keto. I've tried being in a calorie deficit. Um, Most people say, oh, you have to be in a calorie deficit, which is true. If you're in a calorie deficit, you're going to lose weight without a doubt. That's 100% fact. But for me, being on the animal based diet and eating, I'd say I eat 95% whole foods. It's made me lose fat. I have more energy. I pretty much eat as much as I want. I eat until I feel full. I'm not watching how much I eat or tracking everything that I eat. I just focus on nutrient dense whole foods, mainly fruit, meat, a little bit of dairy. I eat a lot of Greek yogurt. Um, but it's honestly changed my life without a doubt for the better. Um, yeah, it's really, really worked for me. I've really struggled being in a calorie deficit before and having to track everything and then you find yourself going back to eating all these junk foods and whatever. I'm not saying there's anything bad against that. I still occasionally eat a little bit of junk. I'm only human. But yeah, for predominantly I eat meat, fruit, dairy, a little bit of vegetables, and it's really working for me. It has changed. It has honestly changed my life. It really has. I'm like a new person compared to what I was before. So yeah, the animal based diet has been amazing for me. What's the best piece of advice I could give to expecting or new parents? Well, the best piece of advice I could give to parents that are expecting a baby would be spend as much time together, husband and wife, or partner to partner, as you can before the baby comes. And I don't mean this in a selfish way, but when the baby does come, you're not going to have this quality time with each other like you used to. So spend as much time as you can together. Go on picnics, go to the movies, do all the things you love doing together before the baby comes. Because once the baby comes, that's it. You're a parent now. Either one of you is going to be with the baby at a certain time, you're never going to have this alone time anymore. It's going to be you and your partner and the baby, and then that's it. So I would say if you're an expecting parent, then that would be the best piece of advice that I could give you. And if you're a new parent, the best piece of advice that I would give would be, I know it is really, really tough. It is so tough. I honestly didn't know how tough it was going to be until I become a parent. And it is one of the most challenging things that I've ever been through, without a doubt, is being a parent. They test you every day. They, 1 minute, they're being nice and cute. They want to cuddle with you. Next minute, something's not going their way and they just want to scream or they want to cry. And then you can't communicate with them. And it is really, really hard. Um, just really look out for each other. Check in with each other all the time. Say, are you doing all right today? Is there something I can do to help you with? Because you're a team. And yeah, and reach out to friends and family and ask for help. I heard a saying that it takes a whole village to raise a child, and I tell you what, it's not far from the truth. I Yeah, it is so hard. It really is. But I would say is just be there for each other, ask people for help, and look for the positives in it. There's going to be some really hard days being a parent, but there is also going to be some incredible days, and really appreciate all these moments and all the time that you spend with them, because they grow up really fast. My daughter is almost about 1.5 now, and that time has gone by so quick. I wish I could go back to when she was just a little baby and she couldn't even crawl yet, and you just hold her in your arms and really take in that moment. So yeah, even though there's going to be really hard times, make sure that you're really appreciating the good times as well, because it goes so fast. So yeah, that would be my advice. Um, if I didn't become a father, would I have started this journey? Well, I'm not 100% sure if this question means like this journey on improving myself or doing what I want to do. If it means starting the podcast, but I would say yes, I would have. Becoming a father, I felt really, really kicked me into gear. I found out my wife was pregnant and I thought to myself, okay, like this is it. I'm becoming a father. What sort of father do I want to be? Do I want to be a father that just does the same job his whole life, works day in, day out, struggling to make ends meet, and show my kids like this is what you do with your life? No. So I thought I need to start improving myself and I need to work on myself and show my kids that you can do anything you want, you can be anyone you want to be. You just have to go for it and you need to try and stay consistent. So when I found out I was becoming a father, I was about 85 kilos. Um, and I thought, I don't want to be just another dad with a dad bod, which is like the typical terminology of what a father looks like, who they're unfit. But yeah, so I thought I don't want to be the typical dad with a dad bod. And I felt like if I didn't then start, the journey would have been harder if I didn't start before I became a dad. Now I currently weigh about between 70 and 72 kilos. And yeah, I feel like I would have started this journey doing the podcasting, being healthy, being into fitness. I feel like I would have started, but maybe not as soon. So yeah, I just feel like it really kicked me into gear. It got things moving, and I felt like I needed to take charge of my life to be a good example for my kid, be a good example for my wife, and also try and be an inspiration for others because, yeah. What's the hardest thing I've experienced so far? Um, I don't want to go too deep into this, but I have suffered with really bad mental health problems for majority of my life. I'd say since high school, and there has been times where I wanted to give up, and I felt like things will never get better. Um, um, I've spent a lot of time working on myself and working on my mental strength to be the person that I am today. And yeah, dealing with mental health is an extremely hard thing. Unless you've gone through it yourself, it's hard to put into words on what it feels like. Um, I just want everyone to know you aren't alone. Reach out to your friend, reach out to your family, reach out to a stranger. Say, look, I'm struggling here. If anyone ever needs someone to talk to, you're welcome to message me. I'll do my best to get back to anybody, but I know firsthand what it's like to go through um, having bad mental health, and it is a really, really hard thing to go through. And you will get through it if you try and you work hard on yourself. You will get through it. I never thought I'd be where I am today and be as strong as I am today back in the past. And it's weird to think like I'd be in this mindset where things are never going to get better. Like, how is my mind so like destroyed? And like, why am I feeling this way? Why am I thinking this way? Why is it that I'm not taking enjoyment out of life when life is such a wonderful thing? Why is it when I go and do these great things and be with family and be with friends, why is it that I'm unhappy? And I just feel people get really stuck in their own head, and it's just a cycle. It's like a vicious cycle. You're constantly going over these thoughts in your head, and it's a really, really hard thing to get out of. I still struggle a little bit, um, but yeah, I've spent so much time working on myself to get to where I am today, and I'm grateful that I didn't give up and quit. I'm so grateful that I'm here today. I'm so grateful with the life that I live. I have a daughter now. I have the most incredible wife in the world. She's the strongest person. She's the strongest person that I've ever met. And yeah, she's helped me out so much over the years. I don't think I tell her enough how incredible she is as a person, but she's helped me so much through my hardest times. I'm so grateful that I'm still here. I still get to be with her every day, and yeah, that's the hardest thing that I've ever gone through is having mental health issues. Um, what made me sign up for a marathon? Well, that's sort of part of the reason I've signed up for a marathon is I want to challenge myself and I want to set goals for myself and I want to smash these goals. So I've always been a little bit into running. I started running to help with my mental health in the beginning, and plus I like fitness and exercise. So yeah, I used to dabble in running a little bit, and then I heard that there was a marathon coming up in my local area, and I thought, well, what a great time to start one. I've thought about it for a long time about doing a marathon, and I know that it's going to be an extremely hard challenge. But yeah, I think that doing a marathon is a huge accomplishment, and I pat anyone on the back that's done one, like, well done. It's 42.2 Ks is a very, very long way. I've been doing half marathons pretty frequently, been running 10 Ks, 5 Ks fast for me anyway. And yeah, I feel 42 Ks is going to be a long way. It's going to be really, really tough on my body and tough on me mentally, but I know that the feeling and the high that I'm going to get from completing this is going to last a long time. And yeah, I just feel like doing a marathon is one of the great challenges in life that we can do. So yeah, as soon as I seen this come up, advertised in my local area, I thought, yep, I'm locking in. I thought about it for probably a couple weeks after I first seen it, and I thought, I'm locking in now. I'm gonna do it. I've said I wanted to do one, and there's no better time than now. The longer you think about something, the less likely that you're gonna do it. So that's why I've signed up for a marathon. All right, last question. What's my biggest regret? What's my biggest regret? I think probably my biggest regret would be not pushing myself to be a better person and trying new things sooner in life. Because even just since I've started speaking about all these things, speaking to people, writing them down, setting goals, writing down what I want in life, it's really, really changed me for the better. And yeah, I think my biggest regret so far would be not starting sooner. I wish I could go back in time and start this journey that I'm on now sooner, but you can only do what you can do now. And there's no point looking back in the past. Like, I'd like to say, yeah, that would be my only regret. I feel like I don't really have any regrets. It's a bit cliches. If someone says, I don't have any regrets, like, what's happened's happened. It's made me the person I am now. Well, yeah, I just feel my biggest regret would be not starting this journey and path that I'm on sooner of health, fitness, talking to people, setting my goals, achieving my goals, and going for the things that I really want in life. Yeah, that's probably my biggest regret so far. So, not really too many regrets, but I know for a fact that if I look into the future and I see myself doing the same things that I'm doing now and I'm not trying to achieve my goals, well, then I will be in deep regret. So I feel it's good to know that I feel like I'm on the right path now and I know where I want to get to not have regrets in the future. So yeah, I've that's why I'll just touch on it quickly, but the reason I started this podcast is because on the days when I've been listening to podcasts of people talking to each other and I'm learning new things and things that are helping me, and I really want to do that with people. Have conversations where even if there's one piece of advice that someone gets out of one of my podcasts that's helped them in their life, even a tiny bit, then I'm doing my job right. If you can provide information and valuable things to people, I feel like you're winning. And I feel podcasting is a great way to do it. It's a great way to meet new people. It's a great way to network. And yeah, I just really feel like this is what I'm supposed to be doing. I've been thinking about it for a long time before I had the courage to speak out about what I wanted to do. So yeah, that probably ties into a regret is that I didn't start sooner. But yeah, other than that, yeah. Well, thanks guys for listening to my podcast. It's only a short one. Hopefully, I answered those questions um, well, or I answered them the best that I could. I didn't want to carry on too much on each question and just ramble on, but thank you so much for listening.